Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Leo full moon for 2024, August 4th. This is going to be amazing because it is a new moon that is wildly empowering. Only if you choose it. And that's the whole thing. You make the magic. You choose. You choose if you want to have this experience. You choose if you want to engage in this. You get to choose, but the forces of the universe, the cosmos, is on your side. And this is so incredibly important because everything about this time can either build you up or take away your confidence. And that's all of life. And I think that's always been. We can either build ourselves up or take away confidence. But unfortunately, these days, it feels like there's a lot of things meant to sort of undermine the sense that you can create your life. And you absolutely can create your life. Not every single aspect of it, not every minute thing that happens on every single day and every moment, but you have a lot more control and a lot more creative ability and power and magic than oftentimes you're told, I'm told, and instead we're heaped on with a lot of things that can lead us to believe that there's simply nothing we can do, that make us confused, feel powerless, feel like what's the use, feel like everything's just a catastrophe. So much. We are so lucky. If you're able to watch a YouTube video, you are so lucky. You have a lot going for you right now because there are a lot of chaotic things happening in the world. And we all have so much power, so much to be grateful for, but so much power to change the things that we want to change. But what we want to change should not be fundamentally ourselves. I believe we should become more and more of ourselves. We should honor our true nature, our gifts, our talents, our skills. We should live in ways that make us happy. And Leo is all about this fire, this passion, this happiness, this joy. And that is ultimately power. This is self-everything, self-motivated, self-empowered, self-actualized. When we talk about living your highest potential, manifesting things, it's really not outside of you. Now, what's interesting is everything in your home is either building you up or making you feel weak and wobbly. It's just a reflection of what's been going on in here and in your energy system. And as you dive into your home, it's not about changing you, it's about becoming more you in the best possible ways. And that energy, that self-confidence, that self empowerment and energy and love, self-care, all of it will make you ultimately so magnetic to all the things that you want. And that's what this whole method of Feng Shui is about. This work very uniquely is self-empowering. If you want to learn how to do it, the Feng Shui School, the School of Intention, is open now for early registration. And there's a link below if you want to join us. But also, I'm sharing a lot here for those of you who are not ready to dive in super deep or just want to get started on this journey. There's so much on this channel. So if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe because it's awesome. It supports the channel. You'll get tons and tons of updates. I do them for the moons and everything else. And I wanted to ask you guys, and please let me know below in the comments, I've been thinking of doing these updates for every sign. And I do this for myself. I'm always looking at my rising sign for all of my astrology, looking at my chart, looking at all the stuff. And I thought it would be really cool if I started doing all signs for all of these moons, meaning doing separate videos for all signs and then doing one big general one. So let me know what you think below, because again, I'm really following my instincts. This is a time to follow your instincts. But you know what's hard to do? It's very, very hard to follow your instincts when you don't feel good about yourself. So how have you been feeling about yourself lately? I live in LA. I live in a place where the most ridiculous things are highlighted, and where people have all these thoughts about how things should be, should look, should be. So I've been doing this whole dental journey, and I talked about this in the moon note that I sent out. And if you don't receive the moon note, if you just comment moon note below, I'll send you a link where you can sign up. If you miss these videos, you'll get the moon note. And I talked about this a bit. I was going to dentist and I looking to fix my bite because my bite needs to be fixed after this dental work that I had to do from bad dentists. I started out with no dental problems and bad dentists created dental problems. I think a lot of you have had that experience. So I'm in the mindset now of less is more. But what I found on this journey is that a lot of dentists wanted to, and people in related orthodontic fields wanted to basically not just talk, I wanted to talk about my bite, my jaw, my breathing, my health, the things that I care about. And they all heaped on a whole lot of commentary about how I look, how my teeth look, how I could look so much better, why my chin isn't strong enough. I never knew my chin was not strong enough. I don't even know what that means. And it started a whole massive, crazy thing in my head where for a full month and a half, I was slipping away from myself. And I don't really take a lot of this in. At first, I was like, oh, whatever, who cares what they say? But it was like all these people saying different things. So it wasn't like everyone saying the same thing. And I was like, maybe I should look at this. Everyone's saying something different. And now suddenly I can't look in the mirror. I didn't know what was going on. I was so confused. And I was basically like scrambling. Do I do this? Do I do that? I didn't have these problems before I started. No one has addressed my real problem, which is I just need to have the right bite and I need to have my teeth in the right position to make my jaw the best that it can possibly be. That's all I wanted. That's it. So after all of that, I just wound up feeling terrible about myself. And I thought of all the ways this happens to people, all of the ways that it's happened to friends of mine, to clients of mine, being told that they have things wrong with them, whether it's how you look or how you are or how you think about things or the views that you have, and you're told you're wrong. How common is that in society now with all this polarization? You're wrong for your beliefs. You're wrong for your beliefs. Why don't we listen to one another? Why is everything right and wrong? Why are we heaped on with things like you're weird, you're this, you're that? Where is this coming from? And why is this happening? And my overarching belief is that perhaps, and you don't have to believe this, but what I know the result is that when you do this, when you get into this, I'm not, look, let me compare myself to this person. Let me look at this. Let me look at what's wrong. All of a sudden, everything's wrong. And the more you focus on what's wrong, the worse it gets. And it's a downward spiral. And you forget that you have actual power. You forget that you are amazing right as you are. You forget that nothing is wrong with you. You forget that you have a life to live and enjoyment to have and things to do, and your life becomes a problem or a to-do list or all these issues that now you need to confront. And honestly, what is that? We all can improve. We all have things to actualize. But now, and this new moon really just puts a big exclamation point on it, right now is an amazing time to list out all the things that you have taken on about yourself, about how you should be, and just say, absolutely not. I am not being programmed. I am not being programmed. I am not going down roads that don't make sense to me. I am not following things that don't feel right. This new moon is about following your feelings. We're going to talk about that and how it relates to your home and your energy and everything else. And if you don't feel good about you, it's very hard to follow your feelings because why? You're bad and you're wrong, and you're not. And so if you've taken on any of this, now is a really good time to say, let's move it away. I could say other words, but let's move it away. Let's push it aside, and let's deeply focus on one, what is right, and also if there are things to improve, to make better. Like I have to make my bite better for my health, for my well-being, for my teeth, for everything. If that is the issue, great. Let's handle it. I can handle that. I can handle all these things because I'm following my feelings and I believe in myself. Nothing is wrong with you. It went so far that one woman who isn't even a dentist told me I needed double jaw surgery, which dentists were like, what is this person talking about? But can you imagine my head? Like what happens when you ask for, when you go on certain journeys in this world? And I've seen people go down these roads with plastic surgery and other things that they didn't really need. I mean, you do what you want. It's totally your choice, but do it because you know it's going to make you feel good, not because you feel that there's some deficiency and that something is wrong with you. Nothing's wrong with you. And so feeling good about yourself is the key to all of this, to everything. If there's anything I shared, it's that. And your self-expression is going to be as strong as you believe in your worthiness, your self-worth. Again, all these self-words. And so if you aren't expressing yourself because you don't feel worthy, you don't feel good enough, you don't feel like you have the right opinion, you don't feel like you fit in, express yourself anyway. Lovingly, with care, being grounded, being calm. If you've been holding things in, get it out. If you've been waiting to say something, find a way to say it. If you can't express yourself, it ultimately creates clutter that shows up in your home, that shows up in your life, everywhere. Now, does this mean you need to shout from the rooftops and, be, on a megaphone? No, it's the ability to accept how you feel, what matters to you, and find ways to voice it that feel safe and good to you. And if you're in situations where you can't express yourself, find a bridge out of those. Because ultimately, if you truly cannot express yourself and be somewhere, ultimately, either you give up yourself or you find a way out of that environment. And that's been a big part of the last years for me, is getting out of environments where I can't express myself because it was showing up in all this weird stuff in my dental stuff that I had to deal with and all this stuff that had piled up secretly in my home, which leads me to decluttering, to feel stronger and more confident. When you clear clutter, we talk about this again and again on the channel, you open up to fresh energy. But even more than that, you learn about yourself and you actually make physical universe changes that prompt you to make changes within you. Oftentimes when we need to make a change, it's very difficult to get into your mind and be like, where did that belief come from? Where did it originally start? How do I erase it? What do I do? You get into this whole thought process, right? And it could be like a circular thought process. And a lot of times people come to me and say, I don't know how to make this clutter stop, so why should I bother clearing it? And my answer is always, you won't know why it's happening until you clear it. That's the thing. The way through is the way out. And decluttering doesn't have to be miserable. It can be wildly empowering every single step of the way. So as you approach your house, as you start looking at things, this type of decluttering for this month, for even the rest of the year, is decluttering the things, almost like decluttering the bad programs from your life, decluttering the things that don't match who you actually are and what you're moving into. So when you look at your closet, look at the stuff that's built up that you don't wear, that you don't touch, and ask yourself, like, do I really need this? Do I really need to hold on to this? I'm never going to wear it. No. And so I'm doing massive closet clearing, changing, eliminating that stuff so that you have room to receive more that you want. Decluttering in all ways the stuff that doesn't match who you are and where you are headed. This is powerful because objects contain energy. And when you let go of those objects, you let go of a lot of that old energy that keeps you spiraling in the same patterns. People ask me, why do patterns keep coming back? And I say, I don't know, but chances are if you declutter, you will start to find out. You learn a lot. And I have to say, even if you don't get to the bottom of why every bit of clutter landed in your house, by letting it go, you free yourself to create so much more. We have a really big thing with knowing why. Why? And I'm the same way. Why? And it's great to get to the root cause, but it's not always going to be apparent and super clear. The most important thing is that you're free of it and you can consciously choose to move forward in new ways and build a new life, build a new wardrobe, build a new pantry full of stuff, build a new living room full of furniture you like, whatever it is, that you have the space to grow. And also when you let go of this stuff, what floods in is new opportunities, new abundance, new joy, new excellence, all the new things. Now, as I said, this is a new moon where following your feelings is being highlighted. Following your feelings, your inner guidance, following how you feel is not easy when you don't like yourself or when you are overwhelmed or when you're sitting in a ton of clutter. As soon as you just take the initiative to start letting this stuff go, you will tap into your intuition. You will be so much more aligned. You will feel it. You don't have to get to the end. You don't have to clear every shred of clutter to get that end phenomenon right now of more fabulous, incredible inner guidance. Start practicing strengthening your inner guidance as often as you can. So ask yourself before you make decisions, is this going to make me feel good? If I eat this, if I drink this, is this going to make me feel better? If I say yes, does that feel good? Think about it for just a moment. Take a pause before you react. The more we get off of autopilot, the more we can follow these incredible instincts that we have that are leading us to the best paths. And what's wild is when you start living more aligned with how you feel and speaking your mind, you find yourself in places you never thought you would be. And things start opening up in ways you never thought that they could. And it's not logical, rational. So you can't sort of think your way through everything. Sometimes you have to lean in and trust, and you will trust yourself so much more when you are more grounded. Now, if you're exhausted, take this time. We're headed into retrograde of Mercury, which is a great time to rest and revitalize. It's also a great time to prosper. And we're going to talk about that in videos to come. So again, stick around because we're going to get into all that stuff and how this can be the best time to make upgrades and really revitalize. And so if you are feeling burned out or overwhelmed or just exhausted, take the time to rest. It will change your life in big, big ways. Now, a wish list for every new moon is incredible. This wish list should really light you up. If it doesn't, it means it's other people's goals, programs. Whenever I write something continually down on my wish list, on my goal list, and maybe you guys have done the same. Let me know if you have. You write something down again and again, month after month after month, and you just say to yourself, like, why is this not happening? Why do I not take any action on this? Why is this not moving? Why is it nothing's happening? What's wrong with me? What's wrong with this? Why am I blocked? And if you really look at it, ask yourself, do I really want this? Do I want something actually bigger? Do I want something totally different? Or do I not even want this at all? And that will be very clarifying. So you want to ask yourself before you put things on your wish list, is this actually something I want, really want, wholeheartedly want, where I would fight for it? Where I would, not that you have to fight for it, but I'd be willing. I'd be willing to put in the time. I'd be willing to put in the effort. I'd be willing to not take no for an answer. I'd be willing to just show up again and again and again. Watching the Olympics and hearing people's stories has been so affirmational on this point. So many athletes who've gone through tremendous struggles to get to where they are, to get to being the best in the world at what they've done, to be in this incredible position. And when you look at these stories and you hear what people have done, they just want it so bad, and they're willing to put in the work, and things align for them, and they trusted and they followed, and there they are. The most inspiring one, and I also put this in the moon note for me this season that I've heard so far, is the story of Suni Lee, the incredible gymnast who came back from illness and was told she may never be able to compete again, and just won gold with the team and was, I think second on the leaderboard, like insane. She's incredible. Like, what an insane inspiration it was to see that. I was just crying listening to her story and just thinking all the ways that we can tell ourselves we can't, or listen to the things around us, the people around us, that this is what's wrong with you. This is what's wrong. This is what's wrong. And in her story, she said she surrounded herself with people who never, ever gave up on the fact that she could. And that gave her the power and the strength and the support to continue to fight, to be surrounded by that much of an affirmation. And when you do that in your environment, when you feel like things are strong and vibrant and you like them and you love them and they're supporting you and things are in order, you have more of that cheerleading squad in your environment as well. It's supporting you. And then, of course, all the people you bring in, all the energy you surround yourself with to make amazing things happen. So be aware of what you put on that wish list. Make sure you really want it. And chances are, if you don't feel excited about something, it's too small. Go bigger and bigger and bigger, and start thinking differently about how you operate. Remember, if you do the same things, you're going to get the same results. And so it's always my goal in sharing all of these videos that it inspires you to look at life from new perspectives, look at the potential around you, even in your basic decor and all the energies around you and within you in new ways, so you can move in new ways and get new results. That's the whole point. So follow those feelings, put the things on the list that matter most to you, and decide to surround yourself, even if it starts with just one other person that's really on your team, or maybe surrounding yourself by just an environment that really supports you. That could be the beginning. And as you go, you will make that team bigger and bigger and bigger. When I started doing this work, all my friends thought it was just like, ha, 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 ha. There are a few people who kind of got it, kind of were excited about it, or at least interested in it, and were just supportive of me. But no one really understood what I'm doing. And now it's just remarkable to have a community of people who get it. And it took a long time to build that community, but I just kept supporting my own self, knowing that if it felt good, I should finally do it, rather than doing what I did for most of my life, which was do what people told me or what I was programmed to believe I should do, that didn't lead me anywhere, that left me stuck and miserable and feeling broken and having all of these problems and always being upset and always being angry and always being frustrated. Who wants that? Your real power comes from that awesome feeling. So make this list and commit to it and start doing it, and don't stop doing it, and keep showing up for it. And most importantly, celebrate yourself. You are worth celebrating, not just for your birthday, not just for a holiday. Celebrate yourself all the time, all the time. all the time, as much as possible. Celebrate yourself. You are worth it. You are amazing. You are worth celebrating. Give yourself good things. Do things that make yourself happy every day, that make you happy every day. Most importantly, give yourself that gift of eliminating from your life, rejecting, maybe even make a list, like I said, of all the things that people have piled on you that you need to change about yourself, or you need to do, or maybe you should be like this, or should, and write it all out and rip it up, or throw it in a fire, throw it in a bonfire, and just be done, and commit and speak up and shine, because this is a time to shine, and you will shine more when you believe that you're worthy of shining, and you are. So again, if you're ready to dive deep into this Feng Shui method, the Feng Shui School of Intention is now open for registration. It is a professional certification. We do all the things, including a business training that can apply to any business. There are about 30 to 35, between 30 and 40% of people who join for their own personal growth. Some wind up doing it professionally, some don't. But it is radically life-changing, even if you're just joining professionally. You can't help but change when you get deep into all of these concepts and start living them and applying them and changing your home, and ultimately becoming just more of you. And so whenever I say transform yourself or anything else, all I'm thinking in my mind is eliminating all that garbage that we don't need, so that we can be the wildly powerful beings we are. And that's what it's time for you to do. And that's what this Leo new moon is all about. And that's what the rest of this year and all the time ahead. So self-affirming. You are amazing. And I'm going to check the comments now. Yes, exactly. Yes. Exactly. You wind up in a loop where you can't imagine what is happening. I know. I need to declutter my garage and a few rooms in my basement. Ooh, that will be so expansive. What we put in places like the garage and the basement are usually the things that we are done with, or we need to store for one season or occasion or another. And the things that can pile up there are full of energy, and sometimes energy you have vastly outgrown. Creating space in these spaces is going to be wild and incredible. While you're at it, air them out. So air out your basement if you have windows, air out your garage, open it up, like really just imagine fresh energy coming in as you're letting all of this go. That's going to be so exciting. Please let me know what happens. Lots of stories about people decluttering these areas and having wild inflows of incredible abundance. I love hearing that it's time to rest and prosper. It's always such a good combination. I have never, ever had amazing things come from being totally exhausted and burned out. And I have to remind myself of that every time I'm running a little bit too fast. Really makes a big difference. Can you do a video about Feng Shui for our garages? I'm about to shoot a bunch of videos tomorrow, and I am going to put that on the list. I have a video coming up that's about Feng Shui for like all the hidden areas that you don't see often. So decluttering all those hidden spaces that you don't open up often. So that's coming very, very soon. But I love the idea of talking more about garages themselves, because they are wildly interesting and they're just another room in your house. Oh, hello from Florida. I hope you're having a wonderful summer. And I'm glad this all sounds good to you. This is super exciting. I love this time of year. I love everything about heading into harvest season, enjoying the summer, and most importantly, powering yourself up. So I was saying this to a client the other day, and I really feel this. It's almost like we can all benefit so much from plugging ourselves in. Like imagine that you could be plugged in and plug yourself into the earth and allow yourself to be that grounded and that present, and really tap into the full power of you. We're meant to be in harmony with nature. That's what Feng Shui is. Wind and water, harmony with nature. That's where it all began, in harmony with nature. All the rules and things that people have added are not really that important. In fact, most of them I ignore completely. And the ones that I don't ignore because they have to do with flow and being in harmony with nature. And that is the core of what makes us light up and turn on in the biggest ways. So let's switch everything up to a higher octave in the months ahead. I'm wishing you the greatest month ahead. And again, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do, because there's so much more to come. And I will see you guys very soon. Happy new moon. Mwah. Bye, everyone.